So welcome to the CMMC Proof podcast. I'm your host, Derek Phillips, a certified CMMC assessor and provisional instructor. Today, I am honored to have Spiros joining us. He is the department chair of cybersecurity at Ivy Tech College, the Lake County campus. How are you, Spiros?
I'm very honored to be here, and I thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to be in your show. I want to congratulate you for the achievements that you have in the cybersecurity field, and first of all, for serving this nation and all the great things you have achieved. Thank you very much for participating in the college as a guest to my students. That was very inspiring, very informative, and we're looking forward to invite you again so you can enhance the knowledge of the students with your experience. And also thank you for being part of our advisory board.
Awesome. It's definitely a pleasure, and I love giving back to the youth, the next generation of cybersecurity professionals.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
Certainly. So, Spiros, we're going to get into your teaching experience and just your cybersecurity experience. But before we get into that, I always like to get to know a little more about my guests in terms of what they like to do outside of work. So what do you like to do for fun?
Well, first and foremost, I like to travel. I like to travel in other lands and try to meet different people and different cultures. I go there mainly not as a tourist, but as a researcher in a sense. Try to get the spirit of the people through their food, through culture, through their activities. The second thing I like to do is swimming. And next to that, of course, exercising. These are my favorite activities that I try to do as often as I can.
That's what keeps you young.
Oh, I don't know about that. You're very kind.
What's been your favorite country to visit so far?
Well, I have been, of course, in Europe. I have been in Singapore, and I have been, south of us, south of the border. But I can't help it. But the favorite one being Greece, especially these islands. These islands and the food is all the money in the world. Okay? But still, I left the country when I was very young, actually, and I haven't really traveled the country. So when I go back now that I have more time, I'd like to go and do what I like to do, visit places that I haven't been before. And because there are different kinds of cultures, even within Greece, okay, we call Greek culture, but it's geographical area. It has its own particular culture, its own even the way that they are dressing, okay? So they have local customs, which of course it's very exciting to see.
Awesome. Well, I'm a big fan of traveling as well. I had the opportunity to go to Athens back in 2009. So it was beautiful. Definitely.
And you left?
Enjoyed it. I ran out of money. Spiros, I know that you are the department chair of cybersecurity at Ivy Tech. Can you tell us more about that position?
That position, it has been, I would say, a long time dream of not really having exactly that position, but basically being in a position that I can influence some facts. Being in the position of the chair, it gives you the opportunity to scan the horizon and see opportunities for the students. In addition to that, I have been with Ivy Tech about 4 years now, and I was hired as an adjunct. Of course, not looking forward to the salary, okay, but looking to a mission. I mean, the teaching is not a profession, it's a mission. And whoever gets into that business better have this mission principle in their hearts. Otherwise, they're doing disservice to the students and to the profession itself. Being the chair, besides giving me the opportunity to scan different opportunities for the students, it also gives me the opportunity to know better the students by being an advisor, by being a role model. Because one of the things that we have to keep in mind is that instructors, professors, advisors, it is something that the students won't tell you, but it is written in an unwritten form. They are trusting you. They are trusting with their future. So this is something that an unwritten contract between the student and the instructor, advisor, that they will do their best to benefit the students, because we're talking about a commitment from the student, not only money-wise, but also time-wise. And the next part of that is profession-wise. So this is a commitment from the instructor to the student that he or she will abide to what the student have in their minds and fulfill their role to be not only a communicator of ideas and knowledge, but more important than that, to be a mentor.
Right. No.
because whether it
Yeah.
is said or not, that's what it is.
Absolutely agree. And I love the way you put it. It is a mission.
It
Absolutely. Where
is a
you,
mission, and you know about missions because you serve honorably
yeah.
this country.
Right. So now you're
Okay.
serving the education sector. So
I'm
absolutely
trying to do
higher
my
ed.
best. I'm
Yeah, we
trying.
all do our part.
Amen.
Absolutely. And to your point, being an instructor in higher ed, you are entrusted with the students, like you said, their future. You're going to help direct them as far as the steps they take for their career, next journey in their lives. So there's a lot of responsibility and trust that's bestowed upon professors. So that's awesome. Now, you mentioned in your role as chair, you kind of get to look and see what's beyond the horizons, like what's next or where the career field is moving. What are some insights that you have gathered since you've been in your chair role as far as seeing where the cybersecurity profession is moving, which direction?
Cybersecurity profession is moving closer and closer to using artificial intelligence and chat GPT as the two tools that it will help cybersecurity into the future. The future is here now, and
Mhm.
it is going so fast that we are having really a hard time in order to go along with the technology. In addition to that, there is an impending danger with using AI because unfortunately, we're not us, the good guys that are using AI, but unfortunately also the cyber criminals are using AI as well. AI is used by the criminals in order, and ChatGPT for the most part, it is used by the criminals in order to do what is called jailbreak. In other words, what that means? That means that ChatGPT can work around some of the safeguards that they are in the some of the sites, some of the applications. Material that is offensive will not get in there. Material basically that deals with terrorism won't get in there. However, techniques that they are used by the cyber criminals can really sidestep some of these filters that they are over there. That's what is a jailbreak. Okay, so
Right.
sidestepping means, jailbreaking because of ChatGPT and these models, they are self-learning. So it is very, very hard to watch a site that the next time that you are going to watch a site, it will have changed its content. That's because of the self-learning experience that happened through these models. So
Right.
that's what we'll be dealing more and more. Okay, with the future, that's what it is projected to be. Because of the number of attacks are in the millions, of course, we have gone away from the binary and we have gone to a different kind of trying to prevent these attacks by using the physics.
Hmm.
And so we went from binary qubit. The qubit
Okay.
it's instead of being 1 or 0, it could be 1 and 0, the electron.
Ah.
Okay. Now, of course, that has something to do with the speed. Okay. So instead of either the light is on one or the light is off, it takes some time. Okay.
Hmm.
But using the qubit here, okay, quantum physics, in other words, then we can have even a millisecond, a nanosecond, okay, that can get us closer either to prevent an attack or being aware that there is an attack that is going on. Of course, for that, supercomputers need to be. So far, we are the ones, although some other nations around the world also, they are using supercomputers as well. We are in this kind of cat and mouse game here, and we're trying to be always one step ahead of the bad guys. We are having a hard time, of course, doing that. That's because of the umpteen amount of attacks that they are
Right.
happening right now. To be a bad guy hacker, the most profitable business to be, okay, because the
Yeah,
profits
it
are
is a business. Yeah.
yeah, it's in the trillions. Okay, dark web even is doing the beautiful marketing, try to attack the best minds,
Yeah.
in the dark web. So basically, you're having hackers advertising their skills. Okay,
Yeah.
whether you want to steal, whether it's credit cards or whether it is social security numbers, or even can do some kind of commercial spying hired by other companies to spy on the competition. So
Yeah.
it is very, very challenging. And that prevents a challenge for us instructors that we are trying to teach the students something that they will have to learn a week from now
Right.
because of the speed of technology. Okay, so we are trying through either labs by or analyzing present day malware, or also we'll be introducing them to CyberBit, the software program that the student can learn to be a better cyber analyst and gain some kind of head into the competition for the market. They will be training their skills as cyber defenders, and
Right.
also they will be also cyber offenders if that has to be.
Got
And
it.
of course, we are trying to get the students ready to take part into competitions where they will exercise their skills better. And the overall goal for that is to get them ready for the market by giving
Right.
them as much up-to-date skills as we can.
Yeah. No, I think that's great. And you can already ask the question I was going to follow up with as far as the importance of the hands-on training and the labs. Yeah, you read my mind.
Well, I think you and I have been working out the short period of time, and we kind of, understand that if I can add something to what I said before, so the other end, of course, is to get involved the professionals in the field, professionals such as yourself, that can tell us what the market needs, so we
Right.
can be preparing the students to fill this huge gap that there is in the cybersecurity market. Because of that's our ultimate goal, to prepare the students to enter the field. So by having the skills that the market wants, and we're looking up to you to educate us instructors. So when we deal with our curricula, to have your opinions and to have your ideas that we can incorporate them, so it can be as a seamless transition from the desks to the screen to the station.
Yeah, totally agree. And I think that's something that Ivy Tech does really well in terms of really focusing on transferable skills, teaching in the classroom that can be easily, seamlessly transferred to their actual profession, especially when it comes to technology. Ivy Tech really is one of the leaders in making sure their students are exposed to what the marketplace needs, what they're going to need, those skills to transition. So yeah,
Thank
really
you.
applaud y'all for that. Now, our audience deals a lot with regulations in terms of for higher ed. And one thing I also wanted to talk to you about is I know that you are the NSA Grant Program Director for the National Security Agency. For those who don't know what the NSA is, can you tell us more about what that entails and what is required of a program to demonstrate that they can get that? I believe it's a Center of Excellence in Cybersecurity designation that Ivy Tech has. What all goes into that?
The goal of that grant is to prepare first responders, to enhance them with skills that they need in order to do a better job in where they are at, and also to give them another alternative if they want in the field of cybersecurity. Within that, of course, there are different courses that they are taught. Cyber ops is one of them. Digital forensic analysis is another one. Also, they are taught the courses that they deal with CompTIA A+ security. That will help them get the certification. So our goal is to prepare this first and foremost, the first responders, and then of course people that they are in the minority population. We can give them extra skills. Army veterans as well, that they can apply to that. So we are trying basically to get as many people as we can from, of course, different parts of the society with the skills necessary that they can succeed in this digital world that we live by giving them different skills like cybersecurity, digital forensics, and Linux. Of course, it is taught for that. So we are partners with three universities: Purdue, the University of Tennessee in Chattanooga, one more university. We are four in the consortium, and the program will be finishing this September of 2024. We have gotten an extension to that, but we'll be finishing the original, I would say, will be finishing in September of 2024. It was supposed to finish in 2023. We extended that. Okay, we got the permission, of course, from NSA to extend that, and that's where we are right now. We're providing, of course, professors from the Ivy Tech as well as professors from other universities in order to teach these courses from that program, from that grant.
I can certainly see how cybersecurity professionals can be grouped into the first responders
Absolutely.
category because, a lot of them are going to be tasked with protecting critical infrastructure, about our electric grid, water facilities, banking system. So,
Yeah.
cybersecurity professionals are on the front lines.
I had students from overseas, okay, that they were active duty soldiers. I had veterans. I had people from the police force, as students in that field. And I was really very, very happy by having this kind of clientele because they really meant to be students, meant to be taught, and they were doing their homework. I mean, it was a great relationship. Of course, I don't teach anymore because of my new duties, okay, but I miss that. I miss the interaction, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it is
And
definitely.
to have the feeling that you are helping people that they have helped this country, or they're still helping this country, by providing the freedom principle, I would say, that this country lives under.
Right. Yeah. And it just goes to show how we all play a role in just
Amen.
freedom
Yes,
and democracy.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, Spiros, what are your thoughts? I know you mentioned certifications. What are your thoughts about the role that certifications plays in helping cybersecurity students prepare for their career?
Certifications is something that it became very obvious to me. I attended an opening of an SOC center in Indianapolis, okay?
Okay.
And one of the speakers was a former director of the NSA. And the question was asked that what is the role of a degree for the education of the student? And the next question to that is what is the role of what role the degree will play for the student getting employment? The answer was that yes, it is important to have a degree, but and there goes a but in there. In
Yeah.
addition to that, is very important. I think he meant to say certification is either as important as a degree or more important than the degree. Certification, it means that you're dedicated, first and foremost. And
Right.
second, it gives you an extra aura, I would say, about your design to be, I would say, a good reputation for the person to have this certification because that they are dedicated into what they are about to do. It also gives you 1 year of experience about, that's how much it counts about, in the market. But to me, the most important is the dedication of the professional. Okay.
Right.
That you're really serious into what you're doing, that you respect your future employer, you respect yourself, and you want really to have a complete picture. You want to present a complete picture of who you are and what you believe. That's why certification to me is the epitome of a good professional, of a good future professional, I would say.
Well put. I totally agree. And as far as demonstrating that, okay, like you say, you have a passion for that career field, and also it's going to require you to maintain those continuing ongoing credits, because you can graduate from
Yes,
college with a degree, but not really focus on any continuing education. For the certification, you typically will have to have a continuing education. And as an employer, typically when I'm contacted by someone, I'm looking for either they have a degree in cybersecurity or a certification, because I need to see some type of commitment to the career field.
right.
If you say I'm interested in cybersecurity, but you don't have a degree or you haven't even did an entry level certification for cybersecurity, that just speaks volumes that you're not really serious or
Exactly.
ready yet.
Yes, yes.
And then lastly, it helps differentiate you from your peers. So if you're looking at two resumes, both graduate from the same from Ivy Tech, but one has a certification in that career field, and it's like, okay, lean more towards one that has the degree and the certification than otherwise.
Very well understood and very good response. Thank you.
Oh, no,
And
fine.
I'm getting your reaction to that. And this is what I really need to help my students.
Mm-hmm.
The reaction of the industry is the guiding light for me. Otherwise, I'm shooting the dark, like shooting bullets just for the sake of shooting instead of really focus like a laser beam into preparing that student to hit the market. So thank you very much for your response to that. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, my pleasure. And what I'll add to that as well is typically when students graduate from their university, college, they're typically looking for those large corporations to get a job with. And that's going to be challenging because you look at a lot of those job descriptions for cybersecurity roles, they're going to want a certain number of years of experience. And obviously the college student doesn't have that experience yet. The college graduate doesn't have that experience yet. But you can instruct them to look for more smaller businesses like an Aspire Cyber or other small boutique type consulting companies. They'll be more than open to hiring college grads as long as they've demonstrated the aptitude that they can learn and can be
Excellent.
taught. So that's the biggest thing I look for. If they have the aptitude, and that degree and or certification is going to prove to me they have the aptitude and the passion for their career field. Now I can work with that. And I don't need to say, okay, you need to have 4 or 10 years of experience. I just need to demonstrate that aptitude. So certainly encourage your graduates to look at the smaller companies when they're first getting started out. It's a good place to get their foot in the door and then eventually get to the larger organizations.
Yeah. Good advice. Good advice.
I have a couple college students I'm currently working with now, just giving them projects that they can work on for us, and because they're demonstrating passion and commitment. So yeah, I'm always happy to work with them.
Wonderful. Good luck. Absolutely.
Yeah, so far so good.
Amen.
Indeed.
That's what I want to hear.
So Spiros, how did you get into cybersecurity? Let's kind of walk us back to where it all began.
When it all began, well, I was retired.
Okay.
From the oil field. I was instructor at Houston Community College. In Houston, of course, I was teaching students to go to the refinery field or to go to the oil and gas field. And a very sad, something real sad happened to the family, and I had to quit that. And it was such a timing that it had just happened, the attack in France, when they had attacked the terrorists, they had attacked that newspaper that published something about Prophet Muhammad, that it was considered to be a blasphemy. So there was this terrorist attack. And that was something that got me out of the emotional situation that I was in there. And I went to Israel, and where I studied the field, counterterrorism and cyber terrorism. And I was hooked from that point on. So when I came back home, I was trying to get into the field because I have a passion, as I said, for teaching. Colleges and universities was what I was looking after. And of course, I was not looking for a full time at that point. I just wanted basically to teach. Okay. And that's how I got involved with Ivy Tech. So, and I went straight into the cybersecurity because of my experience that I had developed, when I was studying for my degree. I got a master's degree, as a matter of fact, in that field. It was love at first sight. Okay, I just love the content, what cybersecurity was all about, in more details, of course, the different fields. Okay, I taught, for instance, ethical hacking with that. I taught digital forensics, and I taught cyber ops, cyber operations, and of information systems as well. So from that point on, of course, I was very much hooked on that, and teaching being the primary, of course, objective. And of course, it came with cybersecurity, which was, the cherry on the cake.
Oh yeah.
And while being in that field, of course, I'm very much interested in research as well. So I have extended on my research in cyber warfare, and also in the drones and the combat drones, what they call, okay, and how they can be used. Of course, in our times, AI also has introduced itself in the drones as well. So there are drones right now that they are using AI, which means that they are able to be functioning as regular airplanes, that they can recognize something on the ground that they had not seen before. They can do the adjustment in their memory, and they can learn from that, and they can attack this target if that's so designed from the operator. But they are able basically to learn of their own, and some of these drones basically can be used as fixed wing airplanes.
Wow.
So AI has been very much into our lives, whether we want or not. It is going to stay there.
No turning back.
No turning back. The problem that we are having is to learn as much as we can, and also how we can manage this technology. Very hard to do, extremely hard to manage it, but very hard to do.
Yeah, but let's say job security for cybersecurity
Yeah,
professionals.
you can say that 1,000 times, which is very true. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, since you do have expertise in counterterrorism, can you talk to how, and we mentioned cybersecurity professionals really being on the front lines, can you talk to how cybersecurity can be leveraged to avert terrorist
Hmm.
attacks? Throw you a curveball since you have some
Yeah.
terrorism
Well,
expertise.
no, it is, from what side really to get this. Okay. One, of course, is to enhance our systems, as I said, with having cybersecurity work in tandem with artificial intelligence, which means that we have to update our systems in order to be able to work very much with artificial intelligence systems. The other thing, of course, is to increase the perimeter defense, what is called that. The perimeter defense, of course, you're professional, what I mean by that, and that is to isolate as much as possible the different layers that we are having in our own network. Enhancing, for instance, cryptography, enhancing, besides the cryptography, enhancing the way that somebody is trying to get into a system. In other words, besides the firewall, increase the firewalls to make them next gen firewalls, increasing the DMZs that we are putting. So we're trying to isolate as much as we can our systems without actually interrupting the communications as much as we can, which is a big challenge because of the more defense we put our systems, the more we delay the business processing of the operations. Okay, and
Right.
that is something that we have to explain that to the CEOs and to the CFOs out there, that this is what you're really going to get with the enhancement that you're looking for. The AI is going to increase the speed, but we get that we are going to get this information. Okay, also we're going to use AI in order to help us develop a better understanding and more in-depth knowledge about the malware that is out there. And hopefully we can have the AI doing the work for us. In other words, develop its own filters, develop its own caches, that it will have this information in there, and they can help us basically develop a better response to the impending attacks. AI, of course, is going to help the students when they are doing these labs and when they are doing with the cyberbit to make them better responders into impending attacks. We have to also, besides, I said, we have to increase the cryptology. In other words, when we have to be very much aware of the different attacks that they are through the email. And what is the bottom line of all this? We have to increase our training for our students, for our instructors, for the business, for
Right.
everybody about what are the different dangers that they are lurking out there when somebody deals with the cyber world. As we have a big, big enemy ahead of us, in front of us rather, and that is called fake news. That is
Right.
another item that is using very much ChatGPT as well as the AI, machine learning, that they can really design attacks that they are looking very innocent at the first sight. So we have big challenges, and that's how we can really face this. We can develop the countermeasures against terrorism by using the whatever we have in our hands, by using the AI to increase the level of cybersecurity awareness. Now, there is another enemy out there. Okay, that is the digital currency,
Yeah.
which is basically that's why we don't see that many suicide bombers lately. That's because of from the safety of a place that it is miles and miles away, and providing a false address, they can really do a great deal of damage into our economy
Right.
by using digital currency. And that digital currency, that it is very, very hard to know where it's coming from. They can really kidnap a site, and they can use that site, which is basically their site, not an official one, not something that has been sanctioned by a government, okay,
Right.
that they can do the attacks. I mean, this problem that we are having right now is that we know what we can do in order, I mean, we have a very good idea how we can face terrorism and how we can do counter-terrorism measures, okay, in the digital world. The problem that we're having, there's not enough research to know what they are doing, what they are basically spending their time, what kind of weapons they are engaging in order to attack us. So
Right.
that is one field in cybersecurity that we are a little bit light-sided. We don't have enough research done to know what is the technology that it is used by them. We have some here and there examples, but we have not put our fingers exactly into what they are doing, how they are planning to use technology.
Yeah, really good points. Those threats are not stagnant. They're always evolving. And like you said, they're doing their research and trying to subvert any of the controls that we put into place as society. So it's
AI is helping them. Okay?
Oh, yeah,
we
big
don't know
time.
to what extent. So we can be developing countermeasures for that. And I mentioned, if I may, some that I mentioned before, is that as we are getting one sample of what they are doing, that they are using ChatGPT, the next sample we're going to have, it has nothing to do with the previous one, because in the meantime, it has relearned different techniques and different approaches through ChatGPT that what we get next time, it is completely irrelevant to what we had before. So it's very hard to really have some kind of continuation of what they are doing exactly in order to develop effective countermeasures. So that's why I said it needs a lot of research from that part to know what they're doing. We know what we're doing, but we don't know what they're doing. Develop effective countermeasures.
Absolutely. Totally agree. You've had a very diverse career. You mentioned you retired from the oil and gas, pretty much industry and teaching, and now to counter terrorism and cybersecurity. What do you wish you knew earlier in your career? Earlier in your career that you know now, looking back on it?
I wish I were involved in cybersecurity way before. Okay, I spent 23 years in the finance profession. Okay, I was senior financial analyst for a number of local governments throughout the country. Okay, but that was a time that even knew how to spell cybersecurity.
Right.
Nobody even know what a hacker is. So nobody knew what AI was. It was something that you read in fiction.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, who would ever believe that we would be living examples of AI in our days? But if I could turn the clock back, that's what I would have done. Okay, get into the digital world way earlier. It's fascinating one way or another, any way you look at it.
Yeah, that's true. It's funny when we look at it now that cybersecurity is relatively a new field. And
Absolutely.
even though we've been on the internet for still relatively new as well, the internet in the grand scheme of things. Cyber criminals, they have been exploiting different vulnerabilities on systems for decades now, but really we're kind of just catching up to and just getting insight into what's been really going on all this time.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've been under the radar for a long time, the hackers and other cyber criminals.
And we got, if I may, into the digital world, into internet, thanks to you guys, thanks to the DOD.
The military.
Yeah. We got into the wrong reasons, try to continue communications in the country if we had a nuclear war and, you had all the wires down, okay?
Right.
And now here we are. Thanks to the DOD, we got into that. I mean, that's the truth. DARPA.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. As you pointed out, with artificial intelligence, it's becoming more prevalent and people most people at least now know what chatbots are and ChatGPT.
Yeah.
But artificial intelligence has been around for quite some time in different maturity levels.
True.
As you mentioned, everything that's used for good is always going to be used for evil as well. So just like all of the positive benefits we're seeing for using AI to increase productivity, to help with cybersecurity, I say the bad guys, they're using it as well to accelerate their attacks. It's interesting. This is the type of profession, cybersecurity, where you always have to learn and evolve with the threats, because it's
absolutely. There is, if I may add to that, we're talking about AI, ChatGPT. There's some other platforms that they are showing up. Prompt engineering is another one that's advancing way more and it makes it more palatable, if I can use this expression, the what is called natural languages. So
Right.
that makes it harder. Every time something comes that makes it more human, it is harder on the cybersecurity people to be able to defend the users of that they have all the good intentions, but besides the user with the good intentions, they are the bad guys that they are watching also what opportunities they can get to that. So
Right.
for every new platform that it's coming, we have to be developing some kind of a defense around that. Okay? And because of we know by experience now that the cyber criminals are looking for opportunities. I mean, they're very good capitalists. Okay, that they are trying to grab any opportunity that it will be given to them by the free market.
Right.
So we have ahead of us a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, no
Yeah,
question about that. We have our
yeah.
work cut out for us.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Definitely. Well, Spiros just giving us a lot of great insights, and you're clearly passionate about cybersecurity and educating our future cybersecurity professionals. As we get ready to wrap up this interview, what advice would you give to your fellow instructors in regards to just molding the next generation of cybersecurity professionals and just being that trusted advisor?
I would say keep on the training, keep on the professional development. This is a field that is very rewarding as far as the satisfaction that you get. Let me say my belief here. This is my motto. So if my name is heard, it is accompanied by cybersecurity is national security. And that is my motto here. And everybody can think the extent of what I said. If a bank gets down, if a bank is attacked, if the grid is attacked, if the transportation field is attacked, who is suffering? What impact is going to have? The economic impact, the psychological impact, okay, which basically deals with the welfare of the nation.
Right.
So that's why my motto is cybersecurity is national security. So that's the first advice I would give, if I can give advice to my colleagues and to the people that they are in the business world as well. Keep up the professional development. Second, I would say love what you do and transfer that to your students, transfer that to your clients, educate your clients. The education to the business world is cybersecurity is an issue that they have to deal with, and they have to look at their company to ask the question, is it secure, as secure as it can be? Because we're never going to have 100% absolutely security, okay? I mean, that's the nature of the business. At the same token, also, they have to use AI for their business. Otherwise, they will be out of the game. Using AI also, they have to include a perimeter defense for their business. That's because of these two things go together. So I would say the first and foremost, I kind of repeat myself because I believe so much in it, is that training and education, training for the instructors, education to the industry. So, and we have to develop, and we have to make sure that both trainers and industry as well, they're very much aware of the cybersecurity issues. They have to have cybersecurity for their organizations, and also they have to, because they don't have any other choice, I want to emphasize also that they have to learn to deal and accept the artificial intelligence because it is good for their business, as long as they have the appropriate safety measures. Okay, because AI also can be attacked as well.
Right. No, those are some
Yeah.
golden nuggets that you shared.
Oh, thank you.
So I certainly appreciate it. Well, Spiros, I appreciate your time today. It's been great getting to know you over this last few months and working with you. And I'm just glad to have this discussion with you to get more of your insights and learn more about your background. But I'm always just honored to talk to anyone who's passionate about their career field, and especially when they view it as a mission like you do. So certainly keep up the great work.
Well, I want to thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to present issues that are very dear to my heart, hoping that I'm helping future students, and also I'm hoping I'm helping professionals in the field to enhance the cybersecurity field, and also to make sure that the artificial intelligence is here to stay. It is good for business, and it is good to for somebody to get familiar with all the issues and the principles of artificial intelligence, having their mind also that they have to have cybersecurity along with this, with artificial intelligence field.
Well, yeah, you're definitely
Thank you.
making an impact, Lee.
Thank you very much.